Competitive NFL games were back in Week 9. We're going to react to all of it today on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast.
You are Locked On NFL Scouting with the Draft Dudes, your daily podcast for NFL and college football scouting. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's better than this? It's guys being dudes here on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast. We're the Draft Dudes. I'm Joe Marino from Locked On Bills. He's Kyle Crabbs from Locked On Dolphins. And we are your NFL experts here with you daily to talk team building across the league on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast with the Draft Dudes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I want to issue a big thank you, shout out, and welcome to our everydayers. Those of you who never miss a single episode of the show, we appreciate you all being here very, very much. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you're going to get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app.
Joe, happy Victory Monday to all who are celebrating, including the show, which has a chance for another 10-week win against the spread tonight if the Cowboys cover -2.5.
Wow. Well,
for
Jacoby
Thursday programming every week for anybody who might be new to Locked On NFL Scouting or stumbling upon it as we talk about the Bengals and the NFC North and some monumental injury news and some trade deadline action. It's just casual first Monday in November in the NFL season.
Yeah, they say you'll remember November, right? This is when it really matters. And let's start with the North, where you saw the Steelers beat the Colts. That was very meaningful. I know that that's not an interdivision game, but the whole narrative here has been chasing Pittsburgh, whether it's Baltimore, I mean, even Cincinnati to an extent. And the Steelers get a win that I don't think many people expected over the Colts, who are now at 7-2. And I think this game's very simple. The Colts turned it over 6 times. You're just not going to win football games like that. And all of a sudden, the Steelers defense looked kind of like the defense you thought it would be with how they were able to wreak havoc with their front. And that was a big win for a Steelers team that I think there was plenty of doubt for what they were able to get done this year.
Yeah, it was very uncharacteristic of what we've come to expect for the Daniel Jones, Shane Steichen performance, but also, in a game that you went into the third quarter and it was 17-7, and Daniel Jones has 50 pass attempts and Jonathan Taylor has 14 carries. Just feel like sometimes teams get a little too off the script way too early.
100%.
And it was 17-7 at halftime, right? But you had the whole second half of the game. It's a 2-possession game. You trust your defense. I mean, from an offensive yardage perspective, Pittsburgh had 225 yards. It's not like they were moving the ball up and down the field on you. I think that only further underscores for me. Yeah. Maybe you shoulda, coulda, woulda a little bit. Indy, if you're Indy coming out of this game, I can't help but sit there and reflect like, I probably would have done some things differently.
Of course, and I think you make a stellar point there about getting away from John Taylor. He's been so critical, 14 for 45 in this game. It maybe felt like it was getting away from you, but it really didn't. You didn't have to chase it, and neither team could really run the ball. I mean, Pittsburgh ran the ball 23 times for 38 yards, and that was a big story. But I think Indy got away from it in ways that they shouldn't. And now you have the Steelers team that has 5 wins, or 5-3. Including a 7-point win over the Patriots where they had 5 takeaways, and a 7-point win over the Colts where they had 6 takeaways. It's 11 takeaways. You beat each team by 7 points. I think that speaks to, I don't know, the Steelers script. I keep calling it. It's tried and true. Like, they don't necessarily play good ball, but my goodness, they can get takeaways in bunches. They can get like key special teams plays in bunches, and they just win games, and they're just doing it again.
Yep. So Pittsburgh makes us look foolish. That's one of the games we both missed with our picks on Thursday. Where do you want to go next? You want to go? I guess we should start talking about this mass chaos roller coaster win probability chart game between the Bears and the Bengals. Right? Speaking of the AFC North.
Yeah, nonsense. That game was nonsense.
47-42. So Cincinnati scores 15 points in less than a minute of game clock, right? There's an onside kick recovery.
Yeah.
1:43 left. Noah Fant touchdown, 2-point conversion, success. 59 seconds later, Joe Flacco complete to Yosevich for a 9-yard touchdown, take the lead. Caleb Williams proceeds to take half of the 50 seconds of game clock they have to throw 2 incomplete passes and scrambles for a first down. And then the whole Bengals defense says, I'm just going to shoulder tackle him to the ground for Colston Loveland, who keeps balance. Nobody knows how to tackle. 58-yard catch and run. Crisis averted if you're Chicago. And they wake up this morning a half a game out of first place.
37 rushes, 283 yards.
Say it again.
37 rushes for 283 yards with Kyle Monungai.
He's a good player.
Yeah, but I mean, the Bengals defense is just not serious. And here's the deal, man. Like, they obviously had their chances in this game, but they're so one-dimensional. 15 rushes for 46 yards.
Yeah.
Like, the Bengals can only throw the ball, and I guess it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. They can only throw the ball. They can't run it, and they can't play defense.
That would be really unfun conversations for, like, every fan base has their unhinged individuals, right?
Right.
I can only imagine the unhinged individual conversations in the Bengals fan base about Joe Flacco putting up the numbers that he has and Joe Burrow and Joe Burrow getting paid what Joe Burrow's getting paid and all that. And then the injury stuff with Joe Burrow on top of it. Let's not overcorrect too much, right? Joe Flacco's gotten on heaters before, and he's never thrown to guys like Higgins.
No, he's excited, baby. YOLO balls are here to the best receivers I've ever had.
So both of these teams, Joe, 7.6 yards per play on the day. 7.6 yards per play. I think that tells you everything you need to know about both defensive efforts here. Yeah, this would have been as bad of a loss as Chicago could have taken, given they were up 15 at the 2-minute warning. They were up 15 points.
Yeah.
So
they win, and they get the Giants in Chicago next. So they probably feel good about their chances to get to 6-3.
Did you not almost pick the Bengals to win this game? I seem to remember you talking about how much you don't believe in the Bears.
Right. I don't tell you, they have the goofiest wins you've ever seen, and they added another goofy win. So
they're going to have a few more too.
They're going to
be a team that I think is in the conversation down the stretch here in the North, in the NFC North.
I agree.
Speaking
all right.
Of the NFC North, you want to go to break, and then we can talk about Lions and
Tigers and
Vikings?
Bears?
Yeah,
sure.
Lions and Tigers. Well, we already talked about the Bears, and we did talk about Tigers too.
Do even more talking.
So we had the same exact joke on Thursday.
Football games. Stick with us.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends over there at Peloton. Look, folks, it's time to break through the busiest time of the year with a brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus that's powered by Peloton IQ. It's Peloton's most elevated technology and equipment yet that gives you real-time guidance, and it gives you endless ways to move, whether you want to work out by yourself or if you want to work out with your favorite instructor, like my personal favorite, Alex Toussaint. He always gets me fired up to tackle the day. And the thing I like about Peloton, it helps me achieve more in less times. They have features that help you plan, stay motivated, track your progress, and Peloton IQ also provides personalized workout plans and recommendations. That's something that I use right now during the busiest time of the year covering the NFL. They plan my workouts for me based on my mood, my vibe, and also my favorite instructors. So make sure you check it out and use it, because it also helps you correct your form in real time, and it maximizes your reps. It counts your reps so that you can do it smarter, safer, and more efficient. Let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
When the opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving forward with Supply House. Order today and see parts on your doorstep tomorrow. They've got over 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical items from the most trusted brands in the business. The real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting on projects while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. If you need parts for a project fast, well, good for you because Supply House has next-day delivery. Talk about a game changer. And I love their Trade Master perks. They give you priority shipping and dedicated support, which makes the entire process smoother. So join that free Trade Master program today and score serious perks like the priority shipping, the lower prices, and a dedicated support line. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free. Use our promo code SHNFL5 for 5% off your first order at supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service.
The Minnesota Vikings, the new man on the Minnesota Vikings at quarterback this week.
His third
Let
start.
Let him do a dub against Detroit Lions.
It's clutch moments, right?
Yeah, that's
Big
kind of the
touchdown.
J.J. McCarthy deal, right? Like that's
Yeah. Boy, if he could just get some of the other stuff
right
to go with the
just
clutch
pretend
moments.
you're down 14 every snap of the game. Just pretend you're down 14.
I mean, the David Montgomery fumble into the 3rd and 7 touchdown run from McCarthy. I mean, that was the difference. And obviously, I thought Goff had been like the blitz beater, right, against Flores. The Lions always beat them at Ford Field, and things changed this time around. Lions off the bye. I don't think this is one they were thinking about losing with McCarthy coming back in and some of the narratives there. I mean, Minnesota ran the ball uncharacteristically well against the Lions. Not that the Vikings can't run it, but the Lions have been a really good run defense. So some big plays on the field from Goff. I mean, he hadn't had much deep production. Big throw to Jameson, big throw to Sam Laporta. But ultimately, I thought the game was decided on the Montgomery fumble into the 3rd and 7 conversion for a touchdown.
Yeah. This was one of those games that it's a nice reminder of the parity that can exist with divisional games, I think. Just because Detroit had all the momentum in the world coming in. Minnesota really struggling to find an offensive identity. And as you said, kind of the way that the ball can bounce sometimes, and it bounced Minnesota's way, and they took advantage of it. But this was a pretty close to the vest game in general. I mean, both teams, we talked about the Chicago-Cincinnati game. Both those teams averaged more than 7.5 yards per play. Both these teams averaged less than 5 yards per play.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the NFC North, for all of the concerns that we have about some of these teams, including the Green Bay Packers, who dropped the game to the Carolina Panthers, that we're going to talk about a little bit later on the show because of an injury in that game to one of the most critical pieces of Green Bay's offense.
Yeah.
That is only going to add more questions to the NFC North. This is a testament to, I think this is a Kevin O'Connell win, especially finding the ways to run the ball that they did against Detroit.
Talk about the Bills beating the Chiefs.
Yeah, big dub. Congrats.
Was a big one. This has become like an annual tradition. I mean, the Bills have beat the Chiefs now 5 years in a row in the regular season, and of course that hasn't helped them in the playoffs. But I think when you kind of just detach yourself from that, this was pretty significant when you consider Kansas City's now in a 5-4 hole. They're looking up at the 7-2 Broncos and the 6-3 Chargers, and the Chargers already have the head-to-head win. I mean, will there be playoff games played at Arrowhead this January? They're going to battle to get that done, but I think from the Bills side of things, I certainly have communicated plenty of doubts about this Bills team, and I just didn't love where the passing game was headed. I had questions about the defense, and I mean, the Bills come out, Josh goes 23 of 26. It's the highest completion percentage ever for a Bills quarterback in a game, minimum 15 passing attempts. And meanwhile, this is the lowest completion percentage in a game for Patrick Mahomes, 15 to 34. He's never been under 50%. Bills sacked him 3 times. They hit him 15 times, got pressure on over half the dropbacks. Like, the Bills pass rush did the thing in this game and frustrated Mahomes in ways that I haven't seen in a while. But to me, as big as it was for that and seeing a lot of the new elements of the Bills defense, whether it's McDermott taking over play calling, Maxwell Harrison in the lineup, Jordan Hancock in the lineup, some fundamental changes with how they rush. The biggest thing for me was Josh Allen and them blending efficiency with some of the explosive plays in the passing game. The Bills, I mean, obviously completed like 89% of their passes, but for Josh to hit throws that gained 47, 20, 30, 28, and 18 after what this passing game had looked like over the last few weeks was really, really significant to me and kind of buying in as the Bills as the type of team that can make some noise here with a playoff run.
Very disappointed you did not mention brand guy and apparent 2025 All-Pro Cole Bishop in your commentary of this game.
Yeah, like this was the coming out game for
Holy
him.
smokes, dude.
Tackles, plays on the ball, like
Yep. He's everywhere.
I hate the dog Taylor rap, man, but like something was obviously wrong with him this year, and I don't think Poyer's a very good player at this point, but there's something stabilizing probably for the secondary to have him in there with all those young guys, and I certainly think that's helped Cole Bishop play really fast and confident lately.
Yeah, he was awesome last night. My talking point for this game can bleed into a few different games, and I think you did a great job kind of summarizing the magnitude of this win for Buffalo and what it means for Kansas City at 5-4, who were almost still going to be in a playoff spot, but needed the Devon Hamilton pass knockdown against the Raiders with 3 seconds left in overtime.
How long was he in the air? I mean, he jumped before Geno Smith threw that ball, right? Like,
right. I don't think he was in the air when he batted the pass, though. I think his feet were on the ground.
It's like, what is going on here?
And he was wide. That was a wide
open. They had the call. They had the call, man.
Brutal miss. And that was obviously a huge. I like that for Pete in that moment. Like, what's a tie going to do for you, really?
Nothing. Thank you. Chris Schubert's in shambles, thinking he's getting his second tie of the year, but we celebrate here.
My Bills takeaway is also a Rams takeaway, which is also a Seahawks takeaway. These heavy personnel teams are it. Did you see the Rams 13 personnel usage?
Yeah, they broke this out like almost out of necessity, right? A couple weeks ago when Puka was out, and they got the tight ends, man.
Dude, this is it. This is it's a pace and space game. We want all these small linebackers. Everybody's in base nickel defense. The teams that were ahead of the curve on this are the teams that are going to have a built-in advantage for the next 3 years while teams cycle to try to get heavier guys back in the lineup.
And then
it'll just cycle back around the other way, and then it'll be all 11 personnel again, right? It's the time is a flat circle thing, but Buffalo with Jackson Hawes and Dalton Kincaid, who's the player that you thought you were getting when you drafted him in the first round now, and Dawson Knox has kind of been the steady, and then Reggie Gilliam, right? What he does as a fullback.
It's been nice, yeah.
That the Rams, obviously, they used their first pick this year on Jake Ferguson. They've got Tyler Higbee. They've got Colby Parkinson is a good player as well at tight end. The Seahawks have Arroyo going for touchdowns.
They had that practice squad call up for a touchdown.
The other cat got the big catch and run for the backbreaker, really, that made it 28-0 last night on Sunday Night Football. It's a huge deal to have the personnel groups to go this way. And I feel like we've talked about like romanticizing 12 personnel for a few years now, as far as like what that can do for your run game surfaces and your box counts and the extra gaps. But then also if those guys are capable pass catchers, there's a few teams now, and the league had pushed their defensive trends just far enough now where these are the teams that I think have a major, major, major advantage. And shit, dude, excuse my French. We talked about the Chiefs doing it in the playoffs 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, they did. They killed the Bills with it. Killed them. They couldn't deal with the 13 personnel. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a huge takeaway, and I think it was never more prevalent than watching the 3 games in succession that I did.
And the Chiefs lived in 11. The Bills didn't play a single snap of base defense, which they had like 20-something% of the time this year.
Right.
The Chiefs lived in 11. And
it's almost like getting all your receivers back was a detriment.
Well,
because it tempted you to stay in 11 instead of if you wanted to go heavier.
Especially with Taron Johnson's out in the game. So the Bills are playing a backup nickel. They're like, okay, we're going to make you be a nickel. And the Bills are like, okay, sure. Sounds good.
Great. Love it.
All right. We got more to do, more to react to. Some big injuries across the league. Tucker Kraft amongst them. I'm sad, folks. We'll talk about that here. Yeah, Joe Alt. There's others. Jaden Daniels. Stick with us. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score the next basket to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com, sign up, and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
All right. Do you want to do an injury implication? Do you want to do a trade deadline deal shoe that already fell? We talked a little bit Jags Raiders. We talked a little bit of Rams.
Charger. The remaining games are injury stuff, except for like the Falcons and Patriots. We had a missed extra point.
Drake London's a monster.
Absolute. I think every touchdown catch was better. All three of them was like, geez, this is unbelievable. Drake May was great. The sacks and the fumble and the interception kind of kept Falcons in this game. How does James Pierce not score? You can't get caught behind by Will Campbell, man. You got to get in the zone.
Yeah.
You got to get in the zone.
Well, we had our concerns, right? It's like, oh, how good of a tester is he, right? And then it's like, oh, well, apparently bad enough tester to get caught from behind by Will Campbell. That's how bad of a tester he was.
quick thought on Niners-Giants. Giants can't stop the run, and they got to catch the ball for Jackson Dart, too. There's a bad drop there by Slayton in the end zone.
Oh, it was a brutal drop. Yeah. It was a brutal drop. Nice to see Carolina Panthers Christian McCaffrey show up in this game. Right, he had 5 for 67 receiving in addition to the 100 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
But they lose Michael Williams, so that is an injury game.
I know, dude.
Right? It's just a brutal break for who did they just acquire?
Keon White.
They just traded for Keon White and said, "Oh, okay, it's your John Franklin Myers guy. You know, maybe they won't be tuning on the deadline again." I'd be on the phone with some teams selling pass rushers again. Yeah,
the NFL is just handling one problem after the other. It's all you can do, right? Just never all the way you want it to be. Broncos and Texans. CJ Stroud
injury.
Yeah, it goes down early in that game.
I picked them to win.
Yeah, they were going to as well. Stroud was dealing on those third downs, man. I thought he was going to be on it. And I mean, like, the Houston defense is so freaking good. I mean, I felt like every play was Bo Nix rolling out and throwing incomplete, just like out of bounds. It was the Texans could play some defense, no doubt about it.
And they had a couple missed turnover opportunities at the end of that game too.
Yes.
And it really felt like Bo had the big rip over the middle that kind of set him up for the game-winning field goal. But to your point, it felt like he tried that exact same like pocket escape maneuver and throw 6 times before he got it.
Yeah. Right.
RJ Harvey with 5 for 51 ends up being the leading receiver in this game. Cortland Sutton goes 1 for 30 in the touchdown. It's obviously a huge deal, and they really battled them otherwise in the passing game. And Bo Nix had the big scramble as well. They kind of set up that game.
It's huge. Huge.
A couple big moments for Bo Nix and what was otherwise a pretty tough watch against a great Houston Texans defense. But Denver, you're at the point now, if you're Denver with 7 wins already, you just hope you're playing your best football at the end of the year. That's all that matters at this point, right? Is you're going to win enough games to be in the postseason.
Yeah.
How many games can you win to try to win the division? But everything that you do, if I was a Broncos fan, my entire focus would be what progress have we made towards being the best version of ourselves at the end of the year?
Some very strange wins. But you don't have to give them back. You're 7-2. You get the Raiders next. Then a big one against the Chiefs. If you get the head-to-head over the Chiefs, and that's a Chiefs team, I think, out of the bye. You get that one, boy, you're feeling good. But you got to play them all. Yeah.
I think the only non-injury game we have left is the Dolphins game from Thursday, which we kind of talked about on Friday. But there is a Jalen Phillips trade to Philadelphia element there. Kind of in the spirit of the Chase Young deadline deal a few years back, which was a 3. San Francisco had a conditional 3 from some of their the league's kind of initiatives to help with minority hiring. So they had a comp 3 that they traded for Chase Young. The Dolphins get the lesser of Philadelphia's 2 third-round picks to send Jalen Phillips to Philadelphia for the rest of his 5th-year option on his rookie contract. Philly was on a bye this week, but to tie it back into the games that were played, the Commanders, speaking of Chase Young, Commanders played a game last night. I went to bed pretty early. I gave up.
Yeah, I was still I finished my post-game work at about halftime, and I was like, oh, really? This game's going exactly how I feared it would. Sam Darnold obviously dealing, but the Jaden Daniels injury is no good. Obviously late in the game, they're getting smoked, and it's a lost year for Washington. It certainly feels that way. Daniels has been hobbled all year long. You got a bunch of old players that, doesn't really get you excited for the future. I think Washington's got to be real honest about themselves. And like, Terry's out, he's been out all year. I think if you could sell some of these older players and get some pieces back because they don't really have many draft picks, I think Washington needs to really think about who they can sell right now.
We have a wee-woo on that front as well.
All right. What is it? I don't know.
Marshawn Lattimore is believed to have torn his ACL.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. Yep. All right. It's time.
What a catastrophic trade that turned out.
Oh, yeah.
For the Commanders, huh?
Horrible. Yeah. It's horrible.
A disaster deal.
It's horrible. Gosh.
Injury, instead of adding insult to injury, adding injury to injuries is kind of the story of the Commanders season thus far.
Yeah. Tucker Kraft goes down. Ugly. Hate it. Love Tucker Kraft. Not ideal.
What's the Tucker Kraft run after catch stat? I think Justice Mosqueda had it last night. Tucker Kraft had 336 yards after contact coming into the game against Carolina. Their number one wide receiver in Yak had 80 yards.
Jeez.
He's important. It's a huge loss.
Yeah.
He's a top 5 tight end this year.
Oh, there's no question. Yeah.
He might have been 3, right? Like Brock Bowers came back for the Raiders and reminded everybody why Brock Bowers is Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
You've got maybe Trey McBride now that he's getting Jacoby Brissett again can be in that conversation. George Kittle certainly in that conversation, but I mean Tucker Kraft was like the new age.
He's a mismatch player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna hurt a lot.
No doubt. No doubt. And they take an L to the Panthers. And
that also hurts a lot.
The Packers were like 2 touchdown favorites in the game. They lose to Bryce Young, who
had 102 yards and a pick.
Yeah. Well, here's Carolina. You got to give the ball to Rico Dowdle. I understand Chuba Hubbard's like been a meaningful piece of your situation, but
yeah,
he's just clearly more effective.
Yeah, I would not care at all.
Yeah, I think they learned some hard lessons.
The Packers have lost this exact same game twice.
Yeah, the Browns.
This was the Browns game.
Those are your 2 losses, the Browns and the Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna matter. Late in the year, it's gonna matter.
Yeah.
Those are bad losses.
If the Packers wake up in the first round of the playoffs and they have a tough draw and it has to be on the road, they know who to thank. And it's themselves for even the Cowboys tie contest.
Boy,
right?
Those are not the 3 results you wanted in those 3 games, man.
Yeah. And relative to what the rest of the team has looked like in some of the other games that they played this season,
no doubt.
Hope it doesn't come back to bite you. Now they are currently courtesy of the tie, half game in first place in the NFC North right now, but that whole offensive picture is going to have to change. Without Tucker Kraft, I'd start trying to steal a few more carries a game for Josh Jacobs. Is there any tight end trade that, like, we can't have Musgrave
and Njoku?
Oh, yes,
that's the one.
Make a play, Green Bay.
Don't look now, but the Panthers next 2 Saints and then at Falcons. They might mess around here.
They already smoked the Falcons, right?
Yeah, they might be.
And then after that, it's 49ers, Rams, Saints, Bucks, Seahawks. Okay.
Yeah, the last 3's a nightmare, isn't it?
Get what you can before the week of Christmas. It's going to be my advice for Carolina.
Or your last 5, brother. Rams 2 against the Bucks in Seattle. Jeez.
Yeah. However many wins you have after the second game against the Saints, let's just assume for now that's however many wins you're going to have this year.
Yeah, that's tough.
But to your point, they could be going into Thanksgiving and be 7-4.
Yeah, they should. I think they have a decent chance of it. There's a decent chance of that.
Could be kind of a sneaky 7-seed candidate.
For sure. Yeah.
Like if they steal one or 2 of these games against Rams.
That Niners game is going to be big. Yeah.
It's a primetime game. 8:15.
Keep it on. Don't sub it out.
We'll watch.
We'll watch
We'll be invested.
Michael Hoecht ruptured his Achilles, and I'm sad, Kyle.
Yeah, man.
He's a baller, dude. He's a baller.
You remember when we first started talking about him a few years ago too? We're
I
like,
know.
hey, the Rams got this like weird
dude.
like 290 edge guy that can play in space.
You see how they played him against Mahomes as like sometimes a spy mirror, but like rushing the A gaps. The Bills don't do that stuff.
They do now.
Well, they did. Now it's Javon Solomon. The funny thing is, because Hoyt had been suspended, they gave Javon Solomon like a few reps doing that. They're like, what is Javon Solomon doing rushing these gaps? And right back in the fourth quarter, after Hoyt pops his Achilles, you see Solomon back out there. That's Oliver and Hoyt back-to-back weeks. When the Bills pass rush like looks legit, boy, that's a couple of tough losses for sure.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Hoyt not sit on the bench the rest of the game?
He waved off the card. He wanted to be out there with the guys. Yeah.
And like he finished the rep. Like
yes,
he didn't like run through anybody on the
No,
rep.
he didn't.
Like,
he didn't lay down. He didn't lay down. He kept battling and popped his.
I had the volume off because I was writing. I was doing my Jalen Phillips
getting ready
trade deadline pre-write and had the
Yeah.
game on. And I saw like him kind of pop, and then I saw it after the fact, and I was like,
yeah,
he didn't go down like guys go down with Achilles. Like that's
he's
a tough dude, man. A tough dude.
Yeah, I miss him. I only had him for 2 games, and I miss him.
He said, I miss him.
I really do, man. He was so good in the preseason. Like you saw him in camp. You're like, just a different kind of cat, man. Now he's gone.
Rams player development. Not kidding you.
Even the ones that get away.
Yeah.
Like that seems like a tailor-made player for their defense, but you got 4 other ones. What are you supposed to do, right?
Well, injuries are a real thing this year.
Turn them off. Turn them off.
The attrition feels. We didn't even mention Joe Alt. I know we got to get out of here, but like Joe Alt going down with, I think it was the same ankle as what he had before. He got carted off. Surgery now apparently is on the table for him. We've seen what their pass protection looks like without both the starting tackles in, and it's bad.
Yeah,
so
as anyone's would be, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean they're two. I don't want to.
And then Bobby Hart went down, dude. Like, what?
Yeah.
We're too deep in the
anybody
depth
that'd
chart
be willing
here.
to trade a tackle at the deadline?
The Bills might. Ryan Vandermark. Been a good spot
Call up
start.
Washington. See what they want for Tunsil. That's going to do it for us here today on the show. Kyle Crabbs, Joe Marino. We appreciate you guys as always for checking out the show. We'll be back again tomorrow. I think we're going to do a draft prospect. Is that
Yeah.
draft prospect tomorrow on the show?
Yeah.
Why don't we do Arvell Reese?
Who is he?
Breakout linebacker / edge this year from Ohio State.
Okay. We'll do
Some
that.
people think he's the best player in the class.
Oh, I like things like that. Sounds good. We'll do that.
Great. So we'll do that tomorrow. We'll get some whatever other trade stuff that happens between now and when we record tomorrow. Obviously, Wednesday, we'll have more trade line reaction for other things that happen after we record tomorrow. It's just, we're trying to thread the perfect needle with the news, right? So we'll try our best. We'll get it all covered as best as we can. We appreciate you guys for coming through, checking the show. Make it a great rest of your day. We're out of here.